Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Retro Gamers Podcast. We're here on location again.
I know. Why are we on location every week now? I was gone for 3 weeks, and now we're not even like doing our normal setup.
I know. Well, this one was kind of sprung on me because I forgot about this.
It wasn't sprung on me. I totally knew about it.
No, I know.
Yeah, so.
Where are we?
We are at the Route 110 Comic Show in Melville, Long Island.
Yes, and we're actually having a fun time here. Selling some stuff, obviously, as you can see on the table.
So aside from video gaming, one of the other things we do, or at least one of the things that I do, I collected comic books growing up. So now I'm working on that end, of, like selling some stuff and some trading cards, of course.
Totally.
You are finally heeding my my advice and selling some pops.
Trying to,
which makes me happy.
Trying to make
some. You did sell some.
I did sell a couple, yes.
Yeah, so that's really good.
All the stuff here,
and we got all this other fun stuff.
Strange Tales. At a great price, actually.
Yes.
So
thank you.
Yes,
thank you
I love
much.
that price.
Do you want it?
Quite frankly, it should be more money, but
it should be.
As it may.
For you, all up to charge.
But with that, we're going to actually. I did walk around a little earlier. I'll show you some of the stuff that we have here, and then we'll head back and do our episode.
I think that sounds like a good plan.
And we'll take it from there. So let's throw it to the B-roll. All right, we are back to my place now, and we had actually a good time today.
Yeah, no. It was a nice day. It was kind of a chill day.
It was low key.
It was low key. We all made some money.
Yes, we did. Finally,
we all made some money. Rich was with us as well, who's been on the Retro Gamers podcast before. He made a decent killing today.
He did the best out of all of us.
He cleaned up.
Good for him.
And then made fun of us and left early.
Basically, yeah. He's like, screw you guys, I'm going home.
Yeah,
and he literally did that. He went home.
Yeah. So. Yeah, normally you're the cartman.
I still look like him. But no, we want to thank Route 110 Comic. They've been having this. They've only been doing it for a few months now.
I think they started it back in March,
something like that.
Yeah,
or even April maybe. So we want to thank them. Great little comic book convention. Check them out. They're the third Sunday of every month.
Yes. So
definitely check them out next time. I'm sure we'll be back at some point. But and you saw some of the quick highlights because it's not a big place.
No.
So but with that being said, we figure we'll come back, do a proper episode, or as proper as we can go. Oh, one thing we didn't talk about before we started recording, but we can mention we have a winner to our 1942 contest.
We do have a winner.
Yes, actually have it over there.
Oh, it's over there.
Underneath my hat.
I will go get the winner.
Okay, and the magic of editing.
I got the winner.
Yes, you do. That right there.
All right, and so we did the 1942 challenge at the Long Island Retro Gaming Expo.
Mm-hmm.
Winner gets a $50 gift card to Game On.
Yep, 3 locations: Patchogue, Miller Place, and Smithtown.
Yep. And the winner of the 1942 challenge is Andrew.
Hey.
Andrew scored the highest score with 130,050 points.
Yeah, he like won it. Yeah. Like he was dominant of everyone.
Do you want to talk about how you felt so threatened by him that you had to show him up when the cameras weren't rolling?
I was bored. We were sitting there. There was a lull in the show, and I decided, let me try my hands at winning the gift card. And then Anthony promptly reminded me that I'm not eligible to win the gift card. So
Larry actually did get the highest score of the day, but he is disqualified because he is part of the Retro Gamers.
But I got to admit, that was like an epic run. I'm never that good at 1942. For a genre that I love, shoot 'em ups, I'm terrible at them.
Well, I was going to say, you're never that good at any game.
No,
so I was actually very surprised.
I'm good at Miss Pac-Man.
And you're not as good as I am. I actually turned on you, Miss Pac-Man, since I was here to make sure my score was still there. And lo and behold, I still have the high score.
From like the pandemic too. It's been a while.
Yeah, was that pre-pandemic that I had that high score?
No, it was like
it was like the first time. Yeah. I've had the high score on his Miss Pac-Man arcade 1-up now for over 2 years.
One day I'll get it back. But no, I just picked up the controller and just started playing, and I just was on a roll. And trust me, I tried doing it again when I got home, and I have yet to be able to come anywhere near replicating what I did at the show.
We're gonna need to do a showdown, but with asteroids for Atari. I will slaughter you.
Well, that's not fair because you're picking that. Yeah, I'm terrible at asteroids.
Okay, yeah.
See, now I gotta practice. I accept your challenge.
And Missile Command.
No, I refuse to play Missile Command.
Why not?
An old version, because it's a terrible game that should have never been made.
It's an amazing game. Missile Command is an amazing game. I absolutely love it.
Well, I'm just gonna do this for a second.
Yeah.
There we go.
Oh, there we go.
But no, so I tried my hand in 1942. Not so good. But the one thing I do want to mention that I picked up at the Retro Expo that I am loving right now, and it has rekindled my love for a video game system that I still feel is completely underutilized and underappreciated, and that's the GameCube.
Ah, yes, GameCube.
Love the game. First technical portable handheld system because it had the thing on the back of it.
Handle.
It does. It did. And I picked up from Eon their HDMI adapter.
Okay.
And it works wonders on this. Now it's not. It doesn't like broadcast it in like 4K or not even 1080. It broadcasts like in 420i or 420p, whatever it is.
Okay.
But you can get it
480. 480.
Excuse me. Yes. Been a while since I watched anything in 480.
That's true.
But still, I mean, the GameCube was designed for that, so that's fine. But it will allow, if you have an old enough system, which I do, to run the progressive scan mode. And a lot of people probably don't know what that is nowadays because of 4K and stuff like that. But progressive scan basically was like the early 2000s version of as clear of a picture as possible.
Yes.
I think it actually did something where it like almost cleared up the lines or something still that had scan lines or something like that. But I gotta say, it looks gorgeous. Some of the games I forgot actually play in 16:9 on the GameCube.
Oh, nice.
Natively, like Soul Calibur 2. It's wild. Yeah.
I love Soul Calibur 2.
So that has relit my love for the GameCube, and I think I might be now when I venture down to Game On and stuff like that. I think I'm going to be looking for some GameCube games. I don't have a huge library.
Well, GameCube didn't have a huge library to begin with.
True.
They were very limited. They didn't have a lot of third-party support, so it's actually I want to say it's an easier collection in terms of number of games, but because it didn't have a big following, the games are a little harder to find, so they are more expensive.
True, but still, there was some gems. Even the lesser-known games. Some gems. Like I remember Scorpion King, like based on the movie.
Oh yeah,
it was actually good. I'm not saying it was amazing, but it was playable.
I'll take your word for that.
It was good.
It was probably bad
because it was BMX Triple X, but that's a whole other story.
Oh, that's a different story. Whole different story.
I got all the codes for it. Don't worry.
Of course you do.
So that's what I've been doing since back for this week. You know, because last week was our special edition.
Yeah.
Really just all GameCube for me.
Okay, that's cool.
Have you been playing anything or anything like that? I know you've been kept yourself busy.
Yeah, no, I've been really, really busy. It was a very busy week at work, so I didn't have a lot to do. But what I did do this weekend, I did a couple of things. I hit up a retro game store.
Okay.
Upstate called Shroomies.
Are you sure it's a game store?
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
No, they also sold other things.
No, kind of go with games, maybe.
No, yeah, they sold. It was basically video game store, and they sold cards as well, like Pokemon Magic cards.
Cool. Yeah.
And then they had a room in the back where you could play tabletop games, and then they had a few arcade games back there. So it was actually a decent sized place. Really nice guys there that I spoke to, and I picked up a couple of games. I don't have them on me because I'm at your house, but I picked up a couple of games. One for the PlayStation 2, I picked this up purely for my own collection and nostalgia. Will I ever play it? No. Will I ever play it with anybody? Absolutely not. But for PlayStation 2, I picked up Friends, the one with all the trivia.
Really?
Yes.
That is phenomenal.
Yeah, it costs like
nothing. I'm sure it's dirt cheap.
Yeah, nobody cares about that game. But I grabbed it. I'm a huge Friends fan, so I was just like, let me throw this in my collection. But the other thing I grabbed, which is a game I completely forgot that they made on the Xbox 360, which was Splatterhouse. They made a 3D game.
Yes,
they made a 3D version of Splatterhouse. Yeah, see, I completely forgot about it, so I saw it sitting there, and I was like, ooh, I love Splatterhouse. I have it for, I have the Japanese version for the TurboGrafx.
Oh, okay, yes.
I bought that on one of my trips in Japan. So, and I want to say I either have or had Splatterhouse 3 on Genesis, and I loved it. So
that one I never played.
Yeah, I
played 1 and 2.
2 is the one I've never played.
2, I think I played.
Is it on the
Genesis.
TurboGrafx Mini?
No, I think it's on Genesis.
I'm not sure. Anyway,
I don't remember.
Bottom line is that 2 is the one I never played. I played 1 and 3, and I love them both. And then I saw the one for 360, which I've never played, and I just grabbed it because I'm like, oh, okay, I will play this.
Yeah, why not?
So I grabbed those 2 games this weekend. And then the other highlight of the weekend was that Jack, our friend Jack, came over to my house, and we hooked up the PC that I bought last weekend at the Retro Gaming Expo. Hooked that up because I bought an old school Dell monitor months ago in Jersey.
I was wondering where you got that monitor from.
Yeah, so I bought it months ago. Our friend Frankie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it on Facebook. This guy was selling like 3 of them, and I told Frankie, I said, Frankie, I go, it's not that far from you. Would you mind picking it up? For like, it was like $50 or whatever. I said, can you pick it up for me? So he picked it up for me, and it's been sitting in my closet. I had no idea if it was going to work. I was like, all right. I go, and finally, I brought the PC home. Jack and I hooked it up, and we're like, all right, here we go.
Moment of truth.
Turned on like nothing, and I was instantly transported back into 1999.
That hum when it,
Yeah, you got the hum, and then the sound of, and then not even the sound, the screen, the Windows 98 screen, the logo screen.
Yes.
And then the sound when it booted up, it was beautiful, absolutely beautiful. I felt like I was 20 all over again, and I was just like, because I'm really old.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, but it was just really cool to boot it up, and then first let's start seeing what was in there. It was just Windows 98, so it just had whatever it came with.
Yeah.
But it had the icons for the old internet stuff you can do. So it had America Online.
Wow.
It had America Online, Prodigy, and then was it MSN Internet or something like that? I forgot what the
Netscape, right?
No, not Netscape. Okay. It was like MSN something.
Oh, I know you're talking about.
And then it had the old school original Internet Explorer logo. Like that was the web browser back then. It was the OG Internet Explorer. So it was just cool to see those. No, installing them doesn't do anything. It's not like I can get online with them anymore. Those are long gone. But saw those, and then we started installing because I still had my games.
Oh, so you did start installing stuff.
Yeah, I still had my games from
I can't even imagine what kind of memory is in that, or storage is in that, I should say.
It had a sweet 4 gigabyte hard drive.
Wow.
4 gigabyte hard drive. 32 megabytes of RAM.
Good Lord.
But let me tell you something. That PC booted up faster than my current one. Because
I'm not shocked.
Well, no, because there's nothing in it.
Well, that's true.
Like there's no. What I mean by like there's no whatchamacallit? There's no
things,
security,
true,
programming, and all these things.
I remember putting security on back then.
There's no like McAfee or any of that stuff.
Yeah.
So basically, it just boots up because all it does is start the OS.
Yeah,
It doesn't start anything.
I didn't think of that. Yeah.
So like computers from like if you clean them up, computers from like 30 years ago will boot up faster than any new computer today.
Not shocked actually.
No, not
in
at
the
all.
long run.
So we started the process of just installing all of my old games, the ones that would work.
Okay.
So we did run into a couple of issues with some of them, but
interesting.
Got the King's Quest collection installed on my computer. So King's Quest 1 through 7.
Okay. Wow.
All on my computer, all working fine. We tested them all.
All right. Cool.
Installed SimCity, the original SimCity Classic, which was awesome. And then also installed the 7th Guest.
Oh, okay.
My favorite, yes.
Did you do the what was that? The upgrade disc? Remember it came with the CD?
Oh no, did not do that yet. No, just installed the OG.
Okay.
So installed the 7th Guest, installed the 11th Hour, the sequel to the 7th Guest, which are 2 of my favorite games.
Yep.
So got a few games in there. We fiddled around with them a little bit. That was a lot of fun. And then after that, promptly took it apart, put it away because I have no place to put it. Yeah. We were doing all this on my coffee table.
You don't want to confuse it for work.
No, we were doing right, exactly. I'm like sitting there. I go, wait a minute, why can't I get online? It's like, what's going on? No, I just go to IT. I'd be like, my computer's not working. Why not? I don't know. Let me put the floppy in.
Here's your problem. It's from 1996.
You know what? It works better than my Mac.
This is true.
But yeah, no. It was a lot of fun.
Cool.
Hooking up that PC brought back a lot of memories.
Awesome.
And I also realized, for some odd reason, I have an OG copy of Baldur's Gate for PC.
Really?
And I can't. And it wasn't in my disc collection, so I got to go looking for it.
Oh, I see what you're talking about. And well, Baldur's Gate 3 just dropped too. So
I know exactly. Yeah. So I want to go get my OG Baldur's Gate. Oh, and then the fun stuff of installing things of I think it was King's Quest 4. In order to start the game, it asks you for, it was one of those, remember some of the ones would ask you for a code?
Oh, yeah, you had to look up in a book. Yeah,
you had to look them up in a book. Yeah. So it was like asking us, it's like, what was the 4th word in the 3rd paragraph of this page in your manual? So we had to go online to find the manual.
Oh, that's wild.
We had to go online to find the manual for the words. That was fun.
Yeah.
It was just really fun to do all of that.
That's
awesome. So I'm looking forward to carving out a space, in my place, hooking that thing up and just going to town.
Oh man,
it was a blast.
Cool,
absolute blast.
Can't wait to see that.
Yeah,
sweet. Yeah, so definitely all of our pickups then worked well from Long Island Retro Expo.
Absolutely.
And all right, cool. And with that, we actually got some. We're gonna kind of get into it with news because it's been a long day. We're both very tired.
Yes. So this is gonna be a handheld episode, and we mean it.
All right, here we go.
Handheld episode.
3 hours later.
Handheld.
So you mentioned, just real quick, Splatterhouse on 360.
Yes.
And news just came out, and we still got time, so no one panic yet. We're not there yet. But another system is now hitting the age where they're going to be shutting down the shop soon, the online shop. The Xbox 360 shop is going to be shutting down soon. Yeah,
so Microsoft announced that the Xbox 360 shop will officially be shutting down, and I think I have the date right because I read it the other day. I believe it's July 29th, 2024.
Oh, very specific. It was somewhere.
So a little under a year from now, it'll be closing down. So if you still have your 360 active and you want to grab some games from the online shop, now is the time to do it.
Now, I think I didn't read deep into it. I just happened to see the headline. I don't know if this is just specifically on the 360, because you can buy 360 games on the Xbox One.
No, it's specifically the 360.
Okay.
So if you want, but there are some games in the 360 shop that don't exist.
You're exactly right.
So it's like,
you're exactly
if you know there's stuff on only the 360 that you want to get your hands on, you have about a year to do it.
All right. Yeah. I can tell you this much, unfortunately, X-Men the arcade game has not been on there for a while anyway.
No, and I'm very happy I have it.
Well, me too. That's why I still have a 360.
Well,
you have.
I have the actual arcade now. The arcade one up of X-Men.
Oh my gosh.
Very happy. But yeah, so it does make me want to, at some point, obviously within the next year, there is time.
That's exactly what, because when the Wii U and the 3DS, like that last week, maybe even that, like the 24 hours before the official shutdown, I was on. I was purchasing away stuff.
Oh no, I think the like last 6 hours on the 3DS because I bought them. If I remember,
yes.
I went on and downloaded a bunch of stuff. I spent like $20.
Oh yeah, it was all dirt cheap, but
yeah,
still.
I just bought a bunch of games. So and I've yet to use my 3DS. I told you handheld. It's tough for me. It's tough for me. But yeah, so I definitely want to check out the 360 store to see what's available there that I can't get on the Xbox One. So I can put it in my collection. And also stuff that's not physical. Because you know me, I buy the physical stuff. So it needs to be, I would only buy digital-only games that are going to disappear.
And not only that, but like I remember specifically when 360, when the shop went up, it was really specifically digital only. It really wasn't, like that idea of doing both digital and physical was not there. There were either short games, old games that were easy just to throw up for like a few bucks. They were I'm trying to think off the top of my head, so I'm sure they're out there. But I don't remember any specific games on the 360 that were like it's a heavy hitting game that was only available on the 360 shop. There were a handful that happened to be both physical and digital, but like the world wasn't crazy over it like it is now.
No,
but yeah, we'll see what happens, and we'll be going on. I'll definitely be checking it out. So
absolutely. And then if you belong to Xbox Live, right, you can still do that on the 360, right? That you can still sign on.
Oh, it's still the same thing. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Because maybe there's maybe there's a 360 showdown we can do. Like
maybe, but that whole Xbox Live is changing next month in September to something like it's not changing the price for us.
Okay.
But it's almost like, remember when PlayStation did the 3 tiers?
Yes.
That's what kind of Xbox is going, where Xbox Live is just going to turn to like Xbox Gold Core or something.
Okay.
Where we still have some of the stuff that's still available. They won't be doing, that's one of the things. Either they won't be doing 360 gold games anymore. No, they're not doing gold games anymore, period, when this happens.
Oh, wow.
But
yes, I did hear about that.
But we will have access to a very small, like maybe 5 or 6 games that will be playable like through the cloud or something like that. We'll see what happens come next month. So
yeah, see,
but you don't even have yours hooked up. So
no, I haven't had mine hooked up for a while. But see, I still like the fact that like Sony does that on the PS4 5. You get like 3 or 4 games for free every month, and I think that's a really cool thing for them to do.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I don't have my Xbox Live, so I haven't been taking advantage of that at all. Well, you know,
I have Xbox Live and I haven't been taking advantage of it.
No, I know. Well, my problem is always going to be space. Like where I live. Yeah, where I live currently, space is limited, so I can only hook up so many things.
You can see I had to go on the wall with a lot of my stuff. Yeah, I know you don't have that option. But
no, and it's
actually maybe
it's very nice setup.
I didn't have the option, but
no, you really didn't.
But you
made the best of what you had.
Yes.
So I think that's good. But for me, it's like at the moment,
I get it.
I have limited space. However, I am planning once I have a bigger space, I'm gonna have everything out.
Good.
And then once everything's out and accessible, I'll be able to take my pick at what to do.
Perfect. All right, cool. So let's see what else is happening in the news. Why not?
All right, we'll jump into. Well, before we jump into the news, should we talk about our game of the week?
Oh, you want to do that now? Okay, we can do that now.
Usually news kind of.
I don't remember. It's been forever, and this is our second show in a week. Do we have another? Are we doing another show next week?
We have to.
No, I meant like another. Like,
where are we going next week?
Well, will we be at our respective homes?
Yes, because I have plans next week.
Okay, fair enough. So. Game of the week, and I knew someone was going to be very happy when you announced it last week.
Yes.
Actually, both Dave and Chris from Two Middle-Aged Guys trying
and Vega.
Yes, Vega too. I forgot about that. Yes.
Yeah, that's what made me call an audible. I had a different game in mind, but I was like, ooh.
So Street Fighter 2 was the game of the week.
Yes.
And you know, excuse me, any version of Street Fighter 2, whether it's Super Nintendo, Genesis, Championship Edition, Hyper Edition, Turbo Edition, whatever you can get your hands on. I happen to have played the, again, just out of convenience, the Street Fighter 2 Championship Edition that's available on the Genesis Nintendo Switch collection. The Nintendo Switch Online, not that terrible Genesis standalone game. That was garbage.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I happen to have a 6-button Genesis controller that I imported from Japan, an official like Switch Genesis. Nice. First of all, I forgot, and I'm not making fun of them. This is the God honest truth. It's the same thing with the PlayStation controllers. The Japanese controllers are slightly smaller than the North American controllers.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
Literally because we have bigger hands than the Japanese. So in fact, if you look, people at home watching won't see it, but if you see right next to the Wii U, straight across, right next to that empty spot.
Yes.
That's a Genesis 6-button controller holder. But for North American, when I put the Japanese one in there, it fills up like half the space.
Nice.
Like it barely hangs on.
Yep.
But
just another way for the Japanese to make fun of us.
Basically. How dare they? So I played Street Fighter 2 Turbo, or Championship Edition, whatever it is. And boy, it took a little while for the muscle memory to come back.
Oh, yeah.
When I first played it, I got my butt handed to me easily.
Yeah.
Easily.
Who did you choose?
So that was
That's the most important
That's
question.
always the most important question. I remember when I first started playing it, I always was E-Honda.
Okay.
Now, admittedly, when I first started playing it, this was like before you realized what cheaping was and everything like that.
Oh, yeah.
I would just hit him with the 1,000-hand slap.
Of course.
And then you kind of realize, all right, don't do that. Now my go-to is Chun-Li. Always been Chun-Li for the longest time.
Oh, yeah.
So, of course, I picked Chun-Li. And I don't know if it's because I like to think, like, when I selected her when I played the first game, where I got destroyed by Chun-Li, it was weird. When I hit the button, it changed her outfit color.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so it was pink or red, whatever.
I think you could choose, like, red or blue, or pink or blue.
Well, blue's standard, and then it went to either red or pink. I don't know what the color was. But that hue. And then, again, just got destroyed. But then I picked her again. This time I stuck with blue, but I know the color had nothing to do with it.
Well, it comes down to the color.
No, yeah, right.
It's a confidence boost.
But at that point, then I was able to move on, and I was like, all right, now I remember how to play this game.
Okay.
And I think I got through about 4 or 5. Actually, E-Honda was the one that stopped me, funny enough,
nice.
when I sat down and really played it. But it brought back such good memories, not only of playing it from home, but playing it in the arcade.
Playing it in the arcade was a big deal.
I specifically remember when I was a kid growing up, we used to go, and we're going to go local, Breezy Point Surf Club.
Okay.
My parents, we always went during the summer. Got a cabana, shared it with another family, blah, blah, blah. And they had like a small row of arcades over by the cafeteria.
Mm-hmm.
And I just one day, actually I think it replaced Asteroids, because it was like Asteroids and some racing game. No, racing got replaced. And just, I'm like, what is this Street Fighter 2? What is this game? What is Street Fighter 1? I've never heard of it. And I plunked my quarter in, picked E-Honda, and I remember I spent a full half hour on that quarter.
Nice.
That first time, and then I got destroyed by some older kid.
Of course.
But I kept
the older kids always ruin it for everybody else.
But I kept going back. Oh my God, I remember that vividly. And then finally, when it came out on Super Nintendo,
yes,
that's when again I could not put it down.
Yeah.
So I was very happy with it. Didn't get to any of the bosses, but I quite enjoyed playing it again.
Okay, very cool.
Yep.
All right. So for me, I also played Championship Edition.
Mm-hmm.
And my go-to was always Chun-Li. I always did Chun-Li first. And the reason why, twofold. One, the kicking.
Oh yeah, no, her kick moves were great.
Yeah, her kick move was great. The upside down kick where she spins.
Kick. Whatever.
Yeah, she turns upside down. Yep. Spin. I always had a hard time doing that.
That I can do. I can't do her, but I don't think her version of a Hurricanrana, or whatever it's called,
Hadouken.
Or Hadouken, excuse me.
So I was always able to do the Hadouken and the quick kicks, but I could not do the upside down.
Okay, but was her Hadouken or Shuriken or whatever it is? Was that in that version, or did she get that in Super Street Fighter 2?
I don't know.
Because I couldn't pull it off in this one. That's why I didn't know if it was here. I know she got it later.
I thought it was in this one.
Maybe I'm doing it wrong.
I don't know. Or I played a different version, and I'm not aware of it. Anyway.
It was in 3D.
You know what, it was. But it was on the Super Nintendo.
Fair enough.
Okay. So anyway, so Chun-Li's always my go-to, which is great. And Chun-Li, I can always get through the game. Okay. So got all the way to the end. Haha, Bison's mine.
Oh, boo.
Hey. It took a little time, though.
For me, it was a Tuesday.
It took a little time to get through. But, again, to your point, like, it did bring back a lot of memories. For me, I remember playing it mostly at Avenue R Video around the corner from me.
Okay.
They had Street Fighter, and I used to go in there all the time, drop my quarter, play it. It was a great time. And, again, would always wind up losing to another kid.
Yeah,
it's like another kid comes in. Otherwise, if those kids wouldn't bother me, I would get through the whole damn game.
Stupid older kids.
Yeah, if they didn't bother me, I get through the game. Everything would be fine.
Why didn't we ever become the older kid?
We did.
Yeah, but I don't ever remember pushing anyone off an arcade.
Oh no, I do.
Oh, okay.
I do.
Wow.
I remember beating kids in Mortal Kombat and all kinds of stuff. Made me feel good.
Made me feel powerful.
Yes. Maybe that's why I didn't have kids. It's like I already got my I got my satisfaction.
I don't blame you.
I beat all those kids.
I don't blame you.
I beat them all when I was like 16. Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, you name it.
Oh, awesome.
Anyway, so what I love about the Street Fighter series, just in general, is first off, it's bright and colorful. Like, you know what I mean? I love the fact that it kind of, you go through it. The stages aren't like just to contrast it with Mortal Kombat, because everybody does. The stages aren't dark. There always seems to be something like happening in the background, which is kind of cool to see. Even in the OG Street Fighter, like Guile's board, I always remember Guile's board with with the army guys in the back in the Humvee.
Yes,
I got it. I know army terms.
What?
Zero. But the Humvee and everybody in the background. Breaking up the car was always fun. You had like 15 seconds to show the car.
I did that. I had like 2 seconds left, and I finally defeated
all you gotta do is use the kick or you Honda's hands. You're good. Always stunk when I tried playing the game as Ken and Ryu. Could not do their moves.
Yeah, I wasn't really good with that.
I couldn't do the uppercut well because it was like you'd go down all the way to up and you press it, and I would always wind up jumping before I could do it. It was just bad. But anyway, playing through the boards made me also realize how much of a pain Sagat was. It reminded me.
Oh, yeah.
Sagat was always the hardest one for me, or Sagat. Sagat. However you say his name. I say Sagat.
Bob Saget. Right?
Yeah, Bob Saget always did it for me. And that stupid tiger knee.
Tiger.
Always drove me nuts. Vega would be challenging, but I would always be able to get through him. But it was always Sagat that.
What's funny? When I played the run through that I played, when I got to Ken, the computer tried to cheat me with Ken. I mean, Hadouken after Hadouken after Hadouken.
That's bad.
Oh, I mean, I was like, this is terrible
bad.
on the computer side.
Yeah, but yeah. So getting M. Bison was cool. I love his board too. Like the board to me is always great. And again, you played it on the Super Nintendo. I played it on the Super Nintendo. The reason why is because when I was younger, I bought the Genesis early on. So my Genesis was the 3-button controller.
Yeah, okay.
So when Street Fighter came out, I just went with the Super Nintendo one because it already had a 6-button controller.
Made sense.
You bought it for Genesis, you had to buy another controller. And it's like, all right, I'm a kid. It's like, I don't have the money. I'm asking my parents for it. So give me Street Fighter for Super Nintendo, so I don't got to ask you for a controller. So that's how I was able to play it.
Okay.
But all in all, a lot of fun. I was just looking up some stuff online about Street Fighter 2 just to throw. First off, Street Fighter, just to throw a little piece of information. Street Fighter 2, first off, had, that wasn't the title of the game.
Really?
Well, it had more to it. It was Street Fighter 2, the World Warrior.
The World Warrior, yes.
The World Warrior was the name of Street Fighter 2. And then hugely popular as an arcade game. In fact, so much by 1994, Street Fighter 2 became the best-selling game since the golden age of arcade video games.
Wow.
By 1994, it had been played by an estimated 25 million people in the United States alone, just in 94.
Okay.
Due to its success, a series of updated versions were added with new characters and stuff. That's how we got Turbo, Championship Edition, so on and so forth. Worldwide, more than 200,000 arcade cabinets and 15 million software units of all the versions have been sold, grossing an estimated $10 billion in total revenue, making it one of the top 3 highest grossing video games of all time as of 2017, and the best-selling fighting game until 2019.
That's wild.
Yep. 6.3 million Super Nintendo cartridges sold for that one. It's the best-selling game on a single platform and the highest-selling third-party game on the Super Nintendo.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so I thought that was a really cool thing.
Yeah.
To point out. And then, of course, the legacy of it now, they just recently announced Street Fighter 6.
Oh, yeah.
Is it out yet?
Yeah, Street Fighter 6 is out. But Street Fighter 2 definitely, they stretched out Street Fighter 2, like, again,
for a very long time.
Super Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter 2 Championship, Hyper, Turbo.
There's another one.
There might be. Well,
there might be another one.
Eventually, they came out with Ultra Street Fighter 2.
That's right.
On, like, the Switch and the Xbox, which technically was, like, the final Street Fighter 2 sequel. So,
do you remember the animated movie in '94?
Not only do I remember it, I watched it about a month ago.
Oh yeah,
no, maybe even recently.
Yeah, you had mentioned that.
I did that, and it was so. I think it's on Amazon Prime. Actually, I loved it so much I bought it. Do you remember where you originally saw it?
No.
It was actually on the disc of one of the Street Fighter 2 anniversary games on the PS2.
Oh, I definitely didn't watch it.
Wait, was it a bonus
disc?
No.
I remember
on the disc.
I remember renting the movie.
I never rented the movie.
No, I rented the movie.
We're talking about the animated movie.
The animated movie. I remember renting the animated movie, and biggest thing I remember from it, if I'm correct, was that I thought they killed E Honda in the movie, didn't they?
Well, to be fair, the only thing I remember was Chun-Li taking a shower. But
well, that is a
then Guile on her way to
But
save her.
I could swear they killed
They
E
might have
Honda.
killed E
Like, I
Honda.
could have sworn like
They
he
might
went
have.
off a cliff or something.
But
I don't know.
but I remember first getting it on the PS2.
Right.
Again, whether it was a bonus disc or on the original disc of the anniversary.
Right.
That's where I'm like, oh, this is awesome, and that might have been censored. You know, again, because it does have, there is the shower, like all joking aside, there's a shower scene, and there's a couple of, maybe an F-bomb, but a couple of curses in the game.
Yeah, no.
So,
I definitely remember that.
So eventually when I saw it unedited. But yeah, that's a great animated movie.
It was a great movie, and it was also far superior to the live-action movie.
I mean,
no, live-action movie was bad.
Correct.
Live-action movie.
Which one?
Well, the first live-action movie with Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yeah, Muscles from Brussels.
I remember watching it, and immediately the first thing I said was, wow, they tried to shoehorn too many characters into it, and it ruined the movie.
Meanwhile, I'm sitting there going, like, E Honda, DJ.
No, yeah, and I'm sitting there, I go, okay, there are too many characters, this is annoying. Because the counter to that was Mortal Kombat kind of stuck to the OG Mortal Kombat cast, and I felt like they didn't overdo it. And then they overdid it in the sequel and ruined it. So... But for the live action movie, I just didn't care for it. Really quickly, to go backwards for a second,
sure.
You were talking about the different versions of Street Fighter 2.
Okay.
So we had the original Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition, right?
I think that's the one that's on Switch.
Right, Street Fighter 2 Turbo.
Okay.
Super Street Fighter 2 The New Challengers.
Which introduced the 4 new characters.
Yes. Then we got Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo.
That's what I'm thinking about.
Then we got Hyper Street Fighter 2. Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo HD Remix, Ultra Street Fighter 2 The Final Challengers.
That's the one that was the one on later on the Switch. Yeah,
that's on the Switch.
I don't remember Hyper Street Fighter 2.
Yeah, Hyper Street Fighter 2,
Super
which later became an arcade release. It was actually a console release, and then it became an arcade.
I don't remember.
Yeah, which is a little nuts.
Okay.
So really crazy, and of course, the Street Fighter lives on today.
100%.
Obviously, because we still have we had 6 that just came out. We're not going to talk about the Legend of Chun-Li because that should have never been made.
That was a rough one. I mean, look, at least what's her face? You know, at least Lana got a movie. Lana Lang got a movie.
Kristen Kruk.
Yes.
Yeah, no.
So, all right. Well,
she should have stayed as Lana Lang.
So Street Fighter 2, excellent game of the week.
Yes.
And my game of the week, actually, is funny enough.
For next week. Yes.
For next week.
Your turn.
And you know what? I'm going to pull the card on this one. I told you about it earlier. I had it in my back pocket for a little while, but I'm dying to play it. We briefly talked about it today when we were hanging out.
Yep.
I'm going to the PlayStation 1, and I'm going Spider-Man. After a day of hanging out with comic books, let's do a comic book movie.
Comic book game. I think that makes sense.
And Spider-Man.
Spider-Man's a good one.
Spider-Man. And it's funny because I was debating between that or Spider-Man 2.
Enter Electro.
Because I never really played 2, but I want to go back and play 1. So that's what we're going to do. Spider-Man.
We're going to play the OG Spider-Man 1, PlayStation 1.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So we'll play that.
Great.
Have fun with that.
Yeah, I was going to say there's so many Spider-Man games.
Spider-Man.
Well, there's the PS4 version. There's the movie version, which I really enjoyed on the PlayStation 2.
Oh yeah,
Spider-Man movie.
Yep.
That was like one of the best movie games.
What was it, Friend or Foe or something, which was really good on the Wii.
Oh yeah,
like critically.
Well, I remember but also the Super Nintendo ones were great. The Brawlers.
Oh, of course.
Maximum Carnage, Lethal Foes.
Maximum Carnage.
Great.
Amazing.
They did Spider-Man and the X-Men, Arcade's Revenge.
These will be future games. Don't worry, folks. We'll get to them at some point.
So we're done with Batman. We're moving on to Spider-Man.
Batman, you sorry?
Batman.
Yes.
All right, and then let's do some
news, and we'll get right to it.
All right. So for anybody who is a big fan of the Dragon Slayer franchise,
okay, sure.
These are JRPGs, Dragon Slayer. So it's just recently announced that there's going to be a Dragon Slayer collection coming out in Japan only.
Oh, okay.
These games were released between 1984 and 1995. There was a Chronicle released in 2012 on Windows, and let's see. The titles are going to include. The titles include Dragon Slayer.
Mm-hmm.
You get different versions of them too. Xanadu Scenario 2, Romancia, Dragon Slayer 4, Dragon Slayer Family. Sorcerian, Dragon Slayer Legend of Hero, Dragon Slayer Legend of Heroes 2, Lord Monarch, Advanced Lord Monarch, Legend of the Wind Xanadu, Legend of the Wind Xanadu 2.
Xanadu.
So if you're a big Dragon Slayer fan, you gotta look for this
interesting.
in Japan.
Japan
only. Okay. Next bit of news here. This is not a game I know, and I was wondering if you know it, because Namco recently announced that their shooter game called Bosconian is coming to the PS4 and the Switch on August 24th.
I heard about this. I've never played it before, but it's supposed to be a really good game. August 24th. Oh, sweet.
Yeah,
so
August 24th, which is this week.
Yeah.
So if you are a fan of shooter games, like Larry is, go check that out. Moving on, this is interesting. We're noticing a new trend of like games that were originally in development that were just, that fell by the wayside are currently just being resurrected and completed.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, so the first one I saw was an unreleased Amiga dungeon crawler called Thalamar Land of Chaos.
Okay.
Just showed up online. So there's a version of it that's available online.
I haven't played a good dungeon crawler in a long time.
Yeah,
probably.
And it's
Shining in the Darkness was
it's like a Shining in the Darkness game where it's like, you have the little screen there, and then there are the things on the side. It's a very interesting game. First person dungeon crawlers are always interesting. It's a lot, and it's point and click type of thing.
Cool.
So if you're a fan of those, you can go online and look for Thalamar, which is originally going to be an Amiga game.
And you say that where it's an unreleased game. I think something to talk about next week. So it'll give us some time to think about it.
Yeah.
Is it nowadays, in 2023 and moving forward, personally speaking, would you want to see old games get and when I say old games, like Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Genesis.
Yeah.
Old games get remade for the current consoles, or canceled games finally getting releases?
I want to see canceled games finally.
Dang it! I said next week we talk about it.
All right, we're going to talk about it next week.
Which would apparently be a very short.
Larry knows my answer, and it's the right answer. All right, another game that's seeing the light of day. Canceled N64 title Dragon Sword.
Say?
Is being resurrected, and it's going to become available on PlayStation and PC.
Oh
no, wait, it was originally N64, PlayStation, and PC, and then it got canceled.
Oh, gotcha.
I'm not sure where it's getting released on. Let's see if this article says it. I'm sorry.
Well, it looks like it plays from the article. Looks like, if I read it correctly,
PC in 2024.
So Steam Deck.
My Steam Deck is going to be very happy with that. The Dragon Sword. All right. The interactive documentary, The Making of Karateka, which we talked about recently, is launching this month.
Oh, good.
PS4, PS5, PC, and Xbox consoles.
Is it coming out on the VCS?
No, nothing's coming out on the VCS.
I don't know. 50th anniversary is on there now.
Ooh. How long ago did that come out? They couldn't even get it on the VCS when they released it, which is great.
This is true.
Oh my gosh, it's so terrible. And then I got a couple other things. Atari recently launched a limited edition clothing collection.
Oh, I've seen this.
Celebrating the Tempest video game. Tempest, hugely popular game.
God, yeah.
There's a very colorful baseball cap. There's some shirts. You can buy, there's a lot of shirts. There's a mug. There's a poster. There's a sticker light.
Just celebrating
neon
Tempest.
Sticker. Just celebrating Tempest.
And Atari, now Atari is the company that put out a baseball hat that has a Bluetooth speaker in it.
Yes.
That plays right through the visor.
I thought that was very weird.
Very odd. I can't imagine how heavy that might be.
And I think that was I didn't really get a lot of time to go through Retro News because I had to do it through my phone while we were selling things today.
Last 2 weeks have been nuts.
But
last month and a half for you has been nuts.
Yeah,
so.
Oh, Jesus. Wow. I think 2023 has been nuts for me. Okay, I'm ready. Is it December 31st yet?
Not yet, but we're getting there rapidly.
I'm ready to drop the ball.
Oh, all right. Well, with that being said, where can they find us?
You guys can find us on Facebook.com/RetroGamersPodcast, on Twitter at RetroGamersPod. No. Oh, I messed it up. You can find us on Facebook.com/RetroGamersPodcast. You can find us on Instagram at RetroGamersPodcast, on Twitter at RetroGamersPod. You can listen to us wherever you listen to podcasts. I'm not saying X. I'm not saying X.
But it's now X.com.
You can find us on Twitter. And if you know the new name, you'll find us that way. You can listen to us wherever you listen to podcasts. You can watch us on YouTube at Retro Gamers Podcast, or you can email us at email@theretrogamers.com. I thought you stopped me because I forgot Instagram.
Oh, no,
I went back, and I still said Twitter because I wanted to. That was intentional.
It is now, they officially changed the URL. It's now X.com.
Okay. I'm giving it 2 X's for its eyes because it's going to die soon.
And with that, folks, we're going to end it. It's been fun this week.
It's been fun this week. Yes, it has. Until next week. Bleh.
Yes. We'll catch you everywhere
So
next
tired.
week on the Retro Gamers Podcast.
I hate you.